Help is on its way? Well, where is it, Mr. President? How is it acceptable to you, Mr. President, that more than 16,000 people were murdered in the streets, yet you are claiming a success because 800 executions were supposedly canceled, something which even the regime itself is now denying ever happened? But here's the thing. If you're not prepared to step up and act when you tell people to take to the streets and risk their lives to overthrow a brutal regime, then you really shouldn't have said anything at all. Even if you're planning action, even if there is a grand plan and we don't see it yet. Words from a president are not cheap. So when the president of the United States speaks, his words carry more weight than any other voice on earth. More than Prime Minister Netanyahu, more than the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, because President Trump has more ability to shape these events than any single person alive. And he also has the full might of the strongest military in the world. And that means, yes, he has a moral obligation to understand the consequences of mixed signals. My own sources in Iran that I've spoken to throughout this week have told me that they've never seen such levels of violence and brutality in their lives. And what does the Islamic Republic do after slaughtering its own people? It blames everyone else, of course. It claims foreign interference while they're the ones importing violence of their own. The regime brought in 5,000 Arab terrorists from Iraq to help murder Iranians on Iranian soil. And yet still we hear diplomacy is the preferred option. Are you delusional? If your response to the mass murder of 16,500 civilians at the hands of their own government is negotiations, you are not a peacemaker. You're an accomplice. Would you be speaking the same way about ISIS? Because the only difference between ISIS and the Islamic Republic of Iran is that the Islamic Republic has been allowed to carry out the same level of savagery for 47 years, while the international community pretends that they're a legitimate regime and props them up each time they're about to collapse. Under R2P, every state has the primary responsibility to protect its population from 4 specific crimes: genocide, war crimes, ethnic cleansing, and crimes against humanity. Now, when a state is unwilling or unable to protect its people, or when it's actively committing these crimes, it forfeits its claim to non-interference. And at that point, the responsibility shifts to the international community. If mass atrocities are ongoing and all peaceful means have failed, R2P calls for collective action, including military measures as a last result. And this is what's needed today. President Trump, if you do not act, you will look back at this moment with regret, because you and you alone have the power right now to stop this slaughter.